Now, usually I won't talk about leaks and stuff like that, because for one, as a creator, when you're working on a nice big project and it gets leaked, it can kind of suck and feel bad. But for two, because in Riot's case, when something leaks, they can change it to make sure that we still don't exactly know what's coming out. Now, the reason this is a little bit of an exception is because I kind of want to use this leak to talk about something that's kind of been on the subreddit and stuff for a while now. And that is, you might have seen it in like Red Mercy's video and stuff like that, Bullet Angel Jinx. And that is a skin that when you think about it more and more, kind of could make sense for a champion like Jinx. When you think of Jinx, you think bullets, right? Whether it's bombs and bullets, chaos and bullets, belts and bullets, bullets and bullets, bullets, right? You think Jinx. That's definitely a champion that comes to mind. If not 80 carries in general, because a lot of them usually have a gun of some sort. They're kind of like the whole sandbox game arsenal of champions down there now, and really half of it is just a Aphelios now. But with that being said, like Jinx with the minigun, the rocket launcher, the shock pistol even, she is an arsenal on her own, and so a Bullet Angel version of the champion isn't that far-fetched to talk about, especially because, again, like I said, the subs kind of talked about it before, so it is a skin that seems to interest at least the subreddit. But talking about the leak, if you will, I instead will steer the conversation into what would you expect out of the skin. Like, would you expect it to be an ultimate skin for the champion, as an example, right? They didn't do an ultimate skin in Season 9 because after Season 8 and the reception with the Gun Goddess Misfortune, some people either really loved it or they didn't like the reduced price, even though they felt like it didn't match up to standards and the reduced price like wasn't good enough either. So they kind of just held back on doing one in the last season. Would something, a concept like this that maybe marries a bit better with the champion to feel a bit better to call an ultimate skin even? Like, would that be something? Of course, maybe like hardcore Jinx mains watching the video gonna be like, yeah, I'm buying it, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can stop trying to sell it to me right now, sir. I'm already, my wallet's already open. It's already empty. It's already crying. But at the same time, what if it wasn't an ultimate skin? Would that make it actually even more appealing because it would cost less and you still think the concept, again, marries with the champion a bit better? And I bring that up just because there's a lot of division around, say, Project Jinx. Some people really loved it as it was. Some people felt like they could love it with a few adjustments. Some people got it day one regardless. And the next skin that comes out, you know, there was some feedback and stuff on Jinx as a champion. Some people feeling like maybe she's starting to get like Lee Sin and stuff and getting like a lot of skins actually. And if it's a skin that really works though, do people care that much? Because I look at champions like Dunkmaster Ivern, right? I actually rarely see that one, but I do tend to see that one even more than I see Mecha Aurelion Sol. Those are like two skins for champions that came out that I really don't see the champions anyways that much, but when I do, it's kind of like a coin flip between the skin or just their base form, right? Would that be a skin though that if a champion is going to get a skin, you know, feels a bit better than if you're going to get a skin every so often and it just feels really terrible, then like what's the point, right? Like if Ivern would have gotten a skin and Ivern mains and even non-Ivern mains were like, that is a ridiculously good skin for Ivern, would the reception be better for champions that get skins less often? And Jinx, who's now drifting in the boat towards getting at least a skin a year, and if this leak was true and this is a skin that's coming out this year, does it feel like a good skin to get this year? Do you think the reception will be maybe different amongst both Jinx mains and non-Jinx mains about like, hey, even though they're getting another skin, that's like a really awesome skin, so I don't really feel the need to really kind of rant about that a bit too much or something like that. And then also, one of the things we could also talk about is what exactly do you think the skin would be like? Because when you think of Jinx, again, one of her, if you didn't know this, in production, her code name, a lot of champions usually have code names while they're in production until like a finalized kind of thing is set. Like Echo, for example, was called Time Slugger, or the Time Assassin even. Jinx's code name was Psycho Arsenal. I'm about to say Pyro Arsenal. It's kind of a bit redundant. Psycho Arsenal, because she was psychotic and she had a whole arsenal of weapons. So she's kind of already, if you think about it, not maybe like a Bullet Angel, but like already has kind of like the whole, like I had mentioned earlier, sandbox kind of thing down with a bunch of weapons you can swap to, kind of some different ways you can cause carnage a bit. So then how would you play that up? Whether it's an ultimate skin or whether they're bringing back 750 skins with this one, what would have to be like different, I guess? What would have to be the feel? Or would it just be the animations and the sounds? If the animations and the sound design was just good enough on the skin, they really wouldn't have to do that much in terms of like maybe visuals, so to speak. Or could it just be all visuals? Like the sounds could even be mainly the same, but if like the visuals look really good and the animations again look really good, that could be it. Are you someone who the selling point for a skin could just be the splash art, right? The in-game skin and the splash arts. For a lot of skins, I feel, especially in the last 2 years, it's varied which one you could argue is better, right? Back in the old days, let's say even 2011, 2012, usually the in-game skin probably looked better than the splash art, not because the splash arts were terrible, but versus the really old splash arts, there was probably a lot more flexibility with in-game animations to really make the skin come alive, where it feels like nowadays, artists have really stepped up their game that they contract and stuff like that, and the splash arts sometimes just look ridiculously well done, right? Like there's certain skins that I had to do a double take on. I think the one that people know the most that they meme about on me is the actually Star Guardian Syndra, as a matter of fact. Mainly because the Star Guardian skins are kind of colorful skins, they're kind of like bright skins, and then you had Syndra come in and kind of be like the dark mode, if you will, of the Star Guardians. And not like the dark evil Star Guardian, I mean like how a lot of websites are now having dark modes on them, right? She was kind of like the dark, not evil, but darker, the easier on the eyes to look at night kind of splash art, kind of a feel going on there. Then you had the Akali rework come out, and like the Blood Moon Akali was kind of like wild when it came out, right? And even then you could say like KDA Akali in-game is an example of an in-game example with the same champion of like, oh hey, but the in-game is not like slacking behind it any, you know, strain of the word. And so there you have that as well. Or you could even look at, say, the Divine Sword skins like Talon and Aurelia. Those were kind of some really good looking skins in and out of game. So when it comes to this skin, if this skin is going to be a thing, if this is not just a leak, but it's like something that's definitely coming now, even if anything with it leaked, they're kind of trying to gauge reception and be like, well, if it is going to be a leak, what do people feel about it after, you know, the last one and stuff like that? If we really like it, we can go forwards with it. What are some things maybe people are already interested and what the skin might be like? And the last reason I kind of bring this up too is because there has been like concepts and stuff that people have drawn and done around this to begin with already. You can find various different artists and stuff like that. I obviously won't be posting any in this video because then if I don't find their actual names to source them, I'm going to feel terrible about putting their art in this video. So I'd rather play it safe and probably not put that up there unless I can 100% find their DeviantArt and stuff or whatever to link you to them, their Patreon, whatever. Because, you know, source and give artists credit for their work. Pay artists, and more than just exposure, please and thank you. But with that said, Bullet Angel Jinx. I guess if I had to give my 2 cents about what I mean, some examples of what I've talked about, in case I've just been really confusing right now, is like, do you think that means maybe the minigun, the animations? When you look at Odyssey Jinx, the rockets in Odyssey Jinx actually work differently than they do for most of Jinx's skins. And what I mean by that is like when she fires an auto attack, actually several rockets kind of come out and like collide together on the target. It was the first time that was kind of done on one of her skins, and it might not be the last time something like that could be applied to her skins. So maybe on the rocket launcher, it's kind of the same thing. And this is without Runon's Hurricane, by the way. With Runon's Hurricane, it was more like 6 to 9 missiles flying out per auto attack because of the way they did the animations on that skin. And again, that wasn't even like a legendary or like an ultimate skin. That was actually just an epic skin, a 1350 skin. And they still went ahead and did that because Jinx as a champion is a popular enough champion. I think they feel better about if they're going to invest their time in the champion, getting enough like kind of reward for putting that work into the champion. And so what could that look like on a skin like this for Jinx? It'll look like just the same thing, of course, different colors and animations and stuff depending on the thematic direction they want to go with it, of course, but you know, extra rockets coming out of the rocket. And maybe that's something they slowly actually just apply to all of Jinx's skins and then eventually the base skin. As a matter of fact, I didn't really think about this until just now, but when you look at it, Jinx is going to be like a 7-year-old champion this October, and she doesn't really need a rework or anything like that in my opinion, but I imagine after a while every champion's going to get a visual update. Even if they look the same, what I mean is just like modern visuals on a champion. So eventually this could be a direction they started with Odyssey Jinx because they do want to apply that to Jinx as they go on, and this might be one of the first times they get a chance to do that again, and so that's something to maybe bring up. But even some of the other weapons she has, like the Flame Chompers aren't necessarily a gun, but a Flame Chompers might be something they could experiment with, something like that. I don't think they'll go like extra Flame Chompers. I think the 3 is probably good enough, but with the bullets and the minigun, maybe that it sprays more like a minigun with consistency instead of kind of the stop and go. Obviously, it's not going to be that broken where you're like just auto attacking 24/7 because that would be kind of unfair for opponents and stuff like that too. But what I mean is maybe instead of like the few bullets kind of spraying out, it's actually just a constant stream of bullets. Like they make the animation when she's firing, the recoil and stuff, make it seem like there's just constantly like motion and bullets coming out of the minigun or something like that. And basically they experiment with some of Jinx's animations with the skin that kind of already maybe is something that people would associate with the champion so much that they're already kind of excited for the skin and they can take those risks without maybe the drawback being that problematic. I don't know for sure But that's kind of all the stuff I wanted to compile for this video. I didn't want to make it too long, but I didn't want to make it too short. I feel like I've been serving you guys too short of videos lately, and so let's go with a little bit of a long one, just in case you want to have a nice long conversation about something that could interest you, again, because like it was a point of topic on the subreddit and stuff like that. But that's gonna be all for this video, so thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because I can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.